before I move on to anything else, I am going to clean this kitchen up a little bit because it's driving me crazy. So I'm gonna start with, this is where it's gonna go after it's cooked. So I'm gonna start heating up my giant stock pot over here. I'm gonna move this for now, because first I have to brown the meat. I'm doing like medium high. Then I'm gonna fill this one up with water. Oh. My oven is preheated for my zucchini bread. I'm gonna set this for an hour. And then we'll see if it's done. Okay, so I have my ground beef. Just gonna start putting it in this giant pot. My understanding of this is that you are supposed to almost cook it all the way, but not quite. Okay. Letting that get a little hotter. Pro tip, I love this thing. It's off of Amazon. I will put it in my Amazon storefront if it isn't already, but I feel like it already is. I'll put a link for that in the description box. Okay, yeah, so the bottom of these are still a little bit frozen, but I should be able to break them apart enough for the heat to then, you know, thaw out the rest of the way. Okay, I'm gonna get this all browned and then I will be back. Ah! Okay, I ended up taking a lot of it out because it was way too much in there. So I'm gonna do it in batches. This would be a lot easier if I had a really long one of these. But we are working with what we have. It's a good arm workout. Okay, I'm turning this off because it's going to be a minute before I get all of the meat cooked, but I do have the first batch done. I'm going to strain the grease. You're supposed to strain the excess grease out, so I'm just going to use my big strainer with a bowl underneath and do it in small batches. We need like 7 more counters. So I left like a little bit of like few pink spots because it said to mostly cook it, but not all the way cook it. Turn this down for a second. Yum. Okay. I'm gonna do that with the rest of this, and then I'll be back. All right. So I got all my meat cooked and the grease drained. So I'm gonna start filling my jars. And then while my water is heating, once it's all heated up in the canner, I'll be able to put the jars in and start canning. Where did I put my ladle? Found it. Oh no. I'm gonna try to not make a big mess here, but we'll see. I have no idea how many jars this is gonna fill. Like, no idea at all. I'm trying to fill in as much as I can. I do have to leave a inch of headspace. I'm actually curious how many pounds this is, because I want to try to do it so I have a pound in each jar, because that's what I typically would need for a recipe. Unless I'm like doubling it or something. $10 ounces. It's not even I should have used quarts. It's not even a pound. It's almost 12 ounces. So then 2 of these would be like 1.5 pounds. I think that'll be okay. I don't want to clean all my quart jars right now because I just cleaned all the pint ones. So like, I'm just going to keep this on the scale because then I can try to make them have the same amount of ounces in each one. You know, for consistency. Ooh, it's warm. There's no way around it. I'm gonna make a mess. I just have to accept that. Okay, so I ended up with 12 jars of ground beef. Next time I will be using quarts the next time I do this because I can't fit 12 pints in my pressure canner, I don't think. I've never done this many at once. We'll find out. But I can fit 6, actually can fit up to 7 quarts in there, so I could have done it all in one batch. So we'll see how many fit. Okay, so then we're going to fill our jars. I have boiling water on the stove, so I'm going to bring this over here. Hopefully I have enough. Whew. Whew. Be careful. Once you pour it in the jar, it'll take a second to kind of settle down. And we are going to debubble these as well. So I'm going to start with just 1 scoop in each. And see where it's at, if it needs any more. The water will settle down a little bit as we debubble. Okay, well I have plenty of water. Okay, now I'm going to use this little thing to debubble. Hot. I'm going to have to top these off with a little more water. Maybe not. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe down all. Then we're gonna get our lids on. We're gonna see how many of these jars will fit in here. These will also be nice for if the power goes out or something. It'll be a lot easier to put together a meal if you have meat that's already cooked. So I like that. All right. And to get our lids on. You want to put these on just fingertip tight, which to my understanding is when you use these 3 fingers and you spin it. If I can get it on right. Oh, that's the oven. And as soon as it starts to turn, then you know it's tight enough. So you don't want to crank it really tight. Our zucchini bread is done. So I'm gonna grab that out and then I will get these going in the canner. So they started to come up a little bit over the edges, but they're looking really good. Oh, it smells so good. So I'm gonna let those cool. All right, so now we're gonna get our jars in the canner. That a 16-quart canner fits 10 pints, and a 23-quart canner fits 20 pints. Too full. I don't know. Even the smaller one, it says it should be able to fit 10 pints, but I can't even get 10 in here, so who knows? Ha! I fit 10. No, definitely can't fit more than 10. So I think with those last 2, I think because I had 12 total and I can fit 10 in there, I'm just going to take the other 2 and use them for a recipe this week. That is not a big deal. Because I don't want to have to run this twice since I have to do it 75 minutes each time, which is a lot. Okay. So I'm going to put this top on. Oh my gosh, I always struggle to put this thing on. There we go. So we're going to turn it on high, and then once there is a steady stream of steam, I don't need that on yet, coming out of here, we'll let that sit for 10 minutes with the steam coming out. And then I will put the weight on and we'll wait for this to get up to 11 pounds of pressure, which is what I need for my elevation. And then it'll sit for 75 minutes and I just have to make sure that it doesn't go below 11 pounds of pressure. See you in a minute. And this is the aftermath of my kitchen. I love this big bowl, but I hate it because it doesn't fit in my sink very well. And then that huge pot, which is my water bath canner, it doesn't fit in the sink at all, so I have to kind of like turn it to the side and like spray water in it to try to get it clean. And it's just so annoying. But you know what? This is exactly why I clean before I do projects like this, because it would have been way worse if I hadn't done that. Because I was able to put most of the dishes that I used in the dishwasher except for the big things. So yeah. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a steady stream of steam coming out. So I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. And then we'll put the weight on. Like, look at this. This is so annoying. I want to get one of those big sinks without the divider in it, because this drives me crazy. I forgot to film putting the weight on, but as soon as the timer went off, after it was steaming for 10 minutes, I put the weight on, and then I turned the heat up a little bit, and now I'm waiting for it to get to 11 pounds of pressure, and it's almost there. All right, so we are there. So I'm actually gonna turn the heat down a little bit because I know it's gonna keep rising and I don't need it to go too far past 11. It's okay if it does, but I don't want it to drop less than 11. Otherwise, I will have to start over my time, which I would not be happy about because this is a longer one. All right, so we have an hour and 15 minutes or 75 minutes. And now I just kind of hang out and do other stuff in the kitchen. I'm pretty much cleaned up. I've cleaned up most of everything. I put away my water bath canner and my giant bowl and my stand mixer. So I have the zucchini bread here. I probably overfilled these, but that's okay. It'll still taste good. I probably could have made 3 out of these instead of 2, but I only doubled the recipe, so I don't know. And I'm sorry about all the noise. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but my dishwasher is really loud and the canner is kind of loud. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this out. I used a plastic knife to kind of just go around the outer edges because I don't want to scratch the pan, which is why I didn't use a metal knife. There we go. It smells so good. This is my laundry. Bring that upstairs. So good. All right, so me and Amira are gonna do a taste test.
Okay. Let's see who thinks it's the best.
Okay, cheers.
2, 1.
You like it? I think it's a winner.
Whoa.
So I'm sitting because I've been standing all day and my legs hurt. This is the worst part about canning. Just sitting here and babysitting it. Making sure that it doesn't, because if it goes below the pressure that it's supposed to be at, you have to start all over. And I would be really upset because it's a total of 75 minutes. So, I have 55 minutes left to go. The reason that I haven't bought my own pressure canner is because I really want to get an electric pressure canner when I do buy one. So since this one is available for me to borrow, I'm just going to use it until I can afford an electric pressure canner. It's definitely like quite the investment because it's like over $300. So it'll be a little bit until I do that, but I really, really want one because although it fits fewer jars in it, you don't have to babysit it. So you can completely walk away just like a pressure cooker. And it does it all for you pretty much. So that is definitely what I want to do. But I do really like this one. I'll definitely probably still use it even if I get an electric pressure canner. It just depends on what I'm doing and how long the processing time is. For the longer ones like this, I definitely would be using the electric one. But I will link this pressure canner in the description. It'll be on my Amazon storefront. So I'll put my Amazon storefront in there and it'll be in there for you to check out if you're interested.
I have the dishwasher going. That was a lot more than I was expecting. I feel a lot better out of the garden. What I left in the garden are things that are going to be ready. Some of them might be a little bit.
I think it's time. Cheers. $22 to go. Okay, so the timer went off. So what I'm gonna do next is turn the heat off, move this over here, and let it completely come down from the pressure. So when it's ready, this little pop-up thing will go down. You can see it. And then this dial will go all the way to 0. Then I will know it's ready. So I'm not gonna touch it, just let it do its thing. It does take a while to come down to pressure, but once it gets there, I will show you what the jars look like. We'll take them out, and then we'll be done with our work for the day. It actually smells like I'm cooking in here, but it's literally just the meat from canning. So I don't know, it really smells pretty strong. I hope none of them leaked liquid because I have had that happen before. We shall see. Almost down to 0. We have to wait for that little thing to pop as well. Last time it came down to 0 and that thing still wasn't down, so I had to wait a little longer because this, you won't be able to open this if it's not down because it's not safe to open yet. Okay, so the gauge is all the way to 0 and that little pop thing popped down, so I know that it's depressurized. So now I'm gonna take the cans out of the canner. So when you open these, you wanna make sure you open it away from your face so you don't hurt yourself because there will be steam. So I just kind of go like this. The handle is a little hot, so might be a good idea to use a oven mitt. I'm gonna take these out. All right, and here we are. You'll see that it's still bubbling inside. So now these are gonna sit here for the next 24 hours. We're gonna listen for the pops that'll happen as they seal. And then tomorrow, after they've been sitting, I will make sure by pressing down on the little pop to make sure that they don't, like they shouldn't pop, they should already be popped down. And then I'll take off the rings and make sure that I can hold it from the lid without it falling. And that's how you know that you have a good seal. So these are the fruits of our labor. We have 2 loaves of zucchini bread. We'll be making more of this once I get more ingredients. And I got 10 pints of meat that will be ready to go for when I need it. So we did it. I'm tired. We did a lot today. We got the meat canned. We have the zucchini bread. I definitely have more zucchini bread to bake to get rid of the rest of that zucchini, but that is okay. I think we made a lot of great progress. Did some grocery shopping today. Tomorrow, stay tuned because we are gonna tackle this room. It's just been a dumping ground for whatever I don't have a place for at the moment. So if you wanna see me do that tomorrow, go ahead and subscribe and I will see you then. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. I forgot, we also got all of our green tomatoes. So that's another video that will be coming up, is what I do with these. See you later.